Is it over for Conor McGregor? Now, my thinking is Conor can fight anyone in the top 15 lightweight rankings and fill out a stadium. He can fight Nate Robinson and fill out an entire stadium. So I would say the hype and the fans, the loyalty he has is gonna stick there with him for as long as he fights. Maybe if he loses like his next 2 fights, it will die down. But other than that, I don't see any way how he's not a star anymore. He's still a star. His name is up there, and the question of if he's finished is probably not, because Dana White has confirmed that Conor can get a 4th fight, and that's what you get when the reason every fight that Conor does gets over 1 million pay-per-view buys is simply because of the star he is, his attitude and his character, and also his knockout power. So I believe he has the it factor, which is why he keeps delivering in terms of pay-per-view, and in terms of business for Dana, he's the best fighter out there. So Dana is gonna do whatever it takes to get him to main event fights so that he can do 1 million plus pay-per-view buys. So it's not over for him, and a 4th fight is gonna happen. Dana White has confirmed that after Dustin gets a title shot and Conor heals up, he's gonna get the 4th fight. And Dustin, I'm sure, will be down for it, because fighting Conor is the fight that gets you the most money. Not fighting for the title, but fighting Conor is what gets you the most money. So I believe that Dustin will give it a 4th fight, give it a 5th fight, a 6th. But the only question is, if Dustin loses the next fight, do they have a 5th fight? Because it's then 2-2. So does that mean there has to be a 5th fight? So it just doesn't make sense for now. And if Dustin wins his fight against Oliveira, gets the title, and if Conor comes to fight Dustin again, is that going to be a title shot? Dustin has said that Conor needs another win, and I think he does need another win. Maybe a Nate Diaz, fight Nate Diaz at 155 or 160, and yeah, get that fight. That would be a good experience for him coming forward to fight, because Dustin is so active and he's so well-rounded. I think in terms of MMA, he's the most well-rounded fighter in UFC right now. There is no one who's more rounded than him. His wrestling, his boxing, his striking, his kicking, how he can mix it up. There's no one as good as him. There are people who are better than him in striking, better than him in wrestling, but when you talk about mixing it up, I don't think there's anyone better than him at the moment. So the thing is, can Conor beat Dustin? Because we don't want to see another 2nd round finish by Dustin and then realize that we're just paying money for Conor to lose again and again. So it begs the question, does he still have it? And the answer to that is, I'm not sure, because he's not over, because he's fighting Dustin. Dustin is the best in the division right now. So he's fighting the best of the best and losing. He's not fighting a random 9th ranked or 8th ranked fighter and losing. He's fighting number 1 ranked fighter and losing. So it's like he's still there, and Dustin has said before that Conor hits hard. I think Conor hits the hardest in the whole division. That's why I always believe that he has a chance in defeating any fighter in the lightweight division, because he hits the hardest. You cannot say that there's another fighter that hits harder than McGregor. McGregor hits the hardest. Dustin said he got knocked out for a second in the 2nd round, and not in the 2nd round, in the 2nd fight. And the 3rd fight he also got buzzed. Dustin has a hell of a chin, and for him to say that, I know Conor hits the hardest in the division. There's always going to be that, yes, Conor can knock Dustin out. But will he knock Dustin out? He can, but is he well-rounded where if Dustin takes him down and tires him out in the 2nd round, is Conor's hand gonna have the same amount of ferocity as it does in the 1st? I don't think so. I think his arms wear off as the rounds go on, and round 1 is always Conor McGregor's fight, but he lost the first round of the last fight. So it's like, does he need to fight a tune-up fight? And there are no tune-up fights in this lightweight division because the division is so stacked. But does he need to fight someone like Justin Gaethje and see if he's got it? If he beats Justin Gaethje, okay, go beat Dustin Poirier. But if he doesn't have it and he loses to someone like Gaethje, it's over for him. I believe if he loses to someone that's not Dustin Poirier, that's a bit lower ranked like Gaethje. Gaethje's dangerous, he can kill you. But Conor's more smarter, he's a better striker, so he should be able to defeat someone like Gaethje. Gaethje doesn't wrestle, even though he has a wrestling background. He doesn't wrestle, he's just a striker. In terms of MMA, he comes to strike. In his UFC fights, he comes to strike. So that's good for Conor in terms of it's gonna be on the feet. So Conor can test himself out against someone wild like Gaethje. Can he knock Gaethje out, or can he drop Gaethje, or can he defeat him in a way that it shows the dominance of McGregor? Because he needs to beat someone before he fights Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier is so well-rounded where it would take Conor, I think, 6 to 7 months simply focusing on his ground game, so that, because every fight that Conor goes to, it's if you wrestle, you've got a good chance of winning. So he needs to eliminate that factor and work on his ground game. Not just take down defense, but how to attack on the ground. And he did a decent job of hitting Dustin, but at the same time he was cheating. He was pulling Dustin's gloves down, and Herb Dean didn't say shit. Herb Dean didn't stop him and say, McGregor, that's a warning, I'll take a point. And this is the same thing that happened in the Khabib fight with Conor. He was cheating during the fight, he was holding the fence, and that's just not allowed. And Herb Dean doesn't seem to realize his mistakes. And I'm thinking, what is Herb Dean doing? How does it always favor McGregor when Herb Dean is fighting? He was pulling his gloves down, Dustin's gloves, and kicking him on the face so Dustin couldn't escape. So that to me is a point deduction, because you know the rules of the fight. You know the rules of the fight. So I believe I went a bit off topic here, but can Dustin do it? I mean, can Conor do it? Dustin's doing it, sorry. Can Conor do it? He cannot go and fight the best. His ego is so big that it's sometimes the downfall of him. It's good in terms of, yes, he believes he can fight, and that helps in your confidence and what you bring to the table. But at the same time, you need to take other fights. Dustin Poirier has been active. He's not taking any breaks. Conor took breaks after beating Floyd. He took a 2-year gap. He hasn't fought much. So he can't go and look at himself 6 years ago and be like, oh, I was pretty good in 2014. I'm pretty sure I can do the same thing. Yeah, you were active in 2014. You're not active now. So you gotta be active to beat active fighters. You can't just depend on your power or your left hand. I know he has more than that, his kicks, but you gotta be more active in the octagon to fight a fighter like Dustin Poirier, because experience helps, and his experience is proven worthy in fights. He lost the 2014 fight because they had no experience. He had less, Conor had less, and he came to the fight, he just striked, and he got beat. But now he's able to mix it up because of the experience he has brought into himself from fighting again and over and over again. He's lost more fights than Conor, but those losses have helped him more, whereas Conor losing hasn't helped him improve. So does Conor still have it?